All right. That should fix it. Let's test everything. I should fix everything. I had to grab a new one. Basically, it was crashing everything. So let's see if the encoder works better. It was a combination of those things. So we'll kick it off from here. We should be good now, right? Right. Yeah. Yeah. Take two. All right. So I'm gonna try recording. We'll see how it goes. I switched the format over. The encoding was being caused from it. I looked it up. It is a problem with the new hybrid. So, with that said, everybody, welcome to Erik Frankhouse Presents. I had to do a second one, and this is where we're at. For those coming in, I put the link in the other chat. You should all be coming over. We're going to start with character creation. I want to talk about what we're doing. We're going to record this section. I've already started. So let's get our pop-up here. All right, 3, 2, 1. You know, sometimes you just got to create a character. And one of the best ways to do it is under pressure, by having the audience, you know, help me build it. So let's go over to the board and let's start designing our first character for SOLODARK, the new Shadowdark zine that came out. So everybody, we are using a different character sheet than normal. I didn't want to use the character sheet that's the little, you know, horizontal ones. That one, they don't look good on screen. Two, there's not enough space for info. And I found that they're great for convention play, but for at home, you're still going to have a journal or something like that to take your notes. So since we're doing this live, if you're here live, and I'll put this out later, we're going to do it here. The first thing I need the audience to do is I need to roll our stats. The way stats in this game work is you roll 3d6 and technically you go straight down the line. But I know we're building a dungeon chef tonight because we voted on it in our Discord. So we'll take whatever our best stat is and we will swap it with our intelligence stat, which is what a dungeon chef uses. So if the audience would like to start rolling 3d6, if you do exclamation point 3d6, you can start propagating your stats in chat, and we'll put them in the character sheet going straight down. While we're getting those in, I want to go over this character sheet with the group. Obviously, I'm just going to put put my name here, Erik Frankhouse. We don't have a character name yet, but we are going to have an ancestry. I think our ancestry, if I remember correctly, didn't we vote for Dwarf? Did Dwarf win for our dungeon chef? Or Golem? I think it was Golem that won for our dungeon chef, if I remember correctly. And with that, we're going to be using a new ancestry and a new class for this. So that's pretty fucking cool. Let me pull this up here, and we can take a look at what we are doing. Dungeon chef. Yeah, man. If you look at that, this is from it. The Golem one, and then our dungeon chef one. So that is what we're building today. Whoo, we are not strong. So chat is already rolling things and bringing them into play. I'm going to start pulling these on screen. So our first 3d6 roll was from Serving Hands. We have a 5 from that. So our first stat, remember these are straight down, it's a 5. That's not what we see. Now, I will say, there is a rule in Shadowdark that if we don't hit a certain stat number, we can re-roll the stats. And I'll roll a few on the page as well to get us into this. But if we go into our Shadowdark, it talks about your character and your stats. 6 scores determine your physical score. We talk about your AC, but when you go down to level 1, you roll your stats first, which is page 15, hyperlink. Optionally, if none of your stats are 14 or higher, you may roll a new set of 6 numbers. That wasn't great. I just want to point out that we got a 5 and a 3. A 5, and then the next one we got was from Michael, and that was a 3. We might be re-rolling. Or maybe this is why he's all the way down here. This new character sheet, this detail character sheet, does automatically do the math for us for the stats, which is super cool. I'm excited about that. I'll put a link down below in the final video that comes out for what this is. I'm gonna roll some too, so let's pull this off and let's pull up my cam here. You'll see I have a cam. I feel maybe I can save. Maybe I can save the party. So let's get out some D6s that are legible for you all. We're gonna grab these. Okay. We'll seal this back up. I want to see what I can get. I'm gonna do a stat. If somebody else in chat would like to roll one, I'm gonna do Constitution. Constitution, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, that's not horrible. That's not horrible. I'll take an 11 for Constitution. That'll give us at least one bonus hit point out of the gate. Who wants to roll our intelligence here? So if there's only the couple in chat, feel free to roll the next two if you like, and I'll roll Charisma. So if the two in chat that rolled earlier would like to roll again. Ooh, I'm gonna roll our Charisma. 12. What do I get? 12, 13, 14, 15. And the next one will be Intelligence from the audience and Wisdom. While they're rolling those up, let's look at SOLODARK. We know our ancestry is going to be Golem. Actually, let's just put that in. We know that our ancestry is going to be Golem. Right? And then we know our... And here's my roll, just so you can see it. So we know our ancestry will be Golem, and we know that we are doing Dungeon Chef. Okay. Oh, look at this. Who's the next one that we got? Who's the next one that we got? You roll an intelligence of 5. Oof. Everybody. Oof, you're killing me here. A roll of 5. I think it's going to be a reroll. It'll be a triple dragon in the game. So we got 3d6. So we got another one from the audience that is not great. Not great. And that is our intelligence roll. And we said we're going to swap. So the other member, Michael, got us a 17. So we're going to swap these. They don't have that in Shadowdark. Normally be straight down. We'd be playing a priest, right? But we know what we want to make. So we're going to do this. I don't see this guy living very long. He is not a combatant. We're going to have to talk our way out of most things. No bonus from Conn. We're not a climber. You're not very agile. This could be a problem. This could be a real problem. Again, in Shadowdark, you all have to remember, our ancestry doesn't give us stat bonuses. Our class doesn't give us stat bonuses until we level up. And we are going to be level 3. And we don't get any stat bonuses from our background. So, like, this golem is heavily damaged. Maybe in our story, since this is going to be for solo, we'll come up with why our stats are low. Why they're kind of low. I got an idea. So that's that. That's our beginning of this. So let's go over to the premium here. It already gave us our stat modifiers, so we don't have to worry about adding those. We know how they function. The next is our ancestry. And instead of looking here for our ancestry, we're going to look to our custom characters to add our ancestries in from Breachers, because we're playing this in our Monday setting, right? So let's get rid of here. Let's pull up the web. And you can see here we have our Breachers. This is our big write-up for the setting. And we know that we are a Golem. Golem gets tool integration. You can integrate one tool into your body that gives you a +1 on rolls that uses that tool. Integrating removes... removing a tool, like integrating or removing, takes 1 hour. So I'm just going to copy this. We're going to go over to our character sheet. And we are going to add this in. So ancestry details. Done. Tool integration. I don't like this font that they chose. This I would change. I think this is very difficult to read. But I will put it here. We'll hit enter, and we'll kind of bring it down. So we have our tool integration. So we know what it does. What's the next step? choice of ancestry, choice of class. Again, we're not picking one of the ones from the book here. We're going to be picking one from our character sheet, or our custom character classes. So we're going to be swapping. We no longer need this one right now. We're going to hot swap this over. I'm using Mem, if anyone's interested in the program. It's a memory database, like a management database. And we have our Dungeon Chef. This is something I made. For those that don't know, I made the Dungeon Chef because I really wanted to have a unique class that felt good for breachers. And I'm a big fan of Delicious in Dungeon. And I'm a big fan of cooking in real life. So that's why this exists. So you don't think I just opted to make a weird class. So we got our stats here. So we know all of these things. Let's copy these. And let's bring them over to our character sheet for class details. Weapons, and then we'll do armor. I'm a big fan of putting bullet points in, so I like to do a copy and paste bullet point to break down character sheets to make them easier to read. So copy and paste bullet point. For those who don't know, there's a website you can go to, and you can just copy and paste a bullet point. I usually use arrows first to see how they look. So now we have this in place. And now you know where your stuff is. It helps break up these digital character sheets since I can't draw on them. You know what I'm saying? It's a little easier to do. So I like that. We're good there. This is what it looks like after I add it. Right? Pretty clean. And we need to add a couple more things. So we got this. We get armor. Our hit points are a D6. For those who don't know, hit points in this game, you roll a D6 and you add your Constitution modifier for first level. We are going to end up being third level. So we're going to be doing this 3 times. I'm going to roll a D6, and I want 2 audience members to roll a D6. I would love to say that we are getting a bonus, but we don't get a con bonus. So let's see what I can get. I'm going to use this big one. I feel good about it. I'll roll level 3. Audience can roll the other 2. I got us a 5. Can audience get us a 6? Maybe we're at least tough. Maybe we can get some actual hit points out of this and we're not absolutely worthless. Because man, how did we survive first level? How did we survive a first level character if your first level is 1? 1 hit point. So it is what it is. We got 1 and a 4. So we have 10 in total. 10 in total hit points for making your Shadowdark character. For those who've not made a character in this before, again, your Constitution score would only apply for the first level. We don't have that. So our hit point dice is going to be a D6. So let's type this in. So we got a total of current hit points is 10. Do I type with this? 10? No. Does this add it up differently? We've never used this character sheet before. Is it 6? Is it D6? Where do we add here? 6. Maximum hit points is 10. Damage taken is 0. Okay, cool. It does a little calculation for you. That's nice. Not a bad little character sheet. Pretty happy with that. I think it's good, a good add-on, right? It does its job. So let's get rid of this. You can see it kind of does all the math for you in here as you add them in. You hit your hit dice. Hit point dice is 6. We have 10 hit points from my 5, a 1, and a 5 in the audience. We obviously haven't taken any damage. It gives us 10 hit points. We are a fragile being. We are a very fragile being. We're a fragile golem. That worries me greatly. So let's go back to the web. We know our character has this. Our languages, you get 2 additional common languages and 1 rare. So I know what we're going to be playing, and I feel like we should look at the idea of maybe what languages would we give this character? He's got to have common. Is there a spot for languages here on this character sheet? Class, I see character notes. I see rolled talents. I guess class details, maybe? We'll do class details. We're going to paste in our arrow. We're going to say he has common. We know our other character is an elf. So elven. And we know that the other one is a human. So let's take Waller so we can talk to people inside the wall. Waller is a new style of like background for breachers. It's people who live inside the wall between all the districts. So we have the common languages that we need. That'll give us that. Now what do we need from our class? So we have dungeon cook and meal prep and curing food. Those are all of our abilities. We need to shorten these. I don't want to write all of this. So dungeon cook, you can cook a meal from your crawler cookbook for your party before rest and when you break camp. Dungeon cooking increases the chance of an encounter result by 1. So it goes from a 1 to a 2. If it was a 1 to 2, it become a 3 because you got smells in the dungeon. Picking a recipe from your book, make that meal. It counts as eating for the day. You must have a dungeon monster to cook. You start with 1 recipe roll. Oh, okay. So I'm going to make a note that we get 1 recipe roll. I'm going to put it over on this side column here. We get one recipe. So after the 1 recipe, where are the languages from? They come from the core rulebook. They are in here. You have languages in the Shadowdark core rulebook. And this has its own languages in it, which you can see here. We only get common, so I took Elvish, and Waller is Wallish, I guess it would be what it should be called for this game, but I called it Waller. We'll do Wallish. I'll retype it on our character sheet. It looks like this. So you have Wallish. And it comes from this book here. And these are the ones that are common languages within Shadowdark. And I just took the ones that make the most sense to being a breacher trapped in the wall right now. That's where we're coming up with this information. And our class is coming from the one we have written up, which is the Dungeon Chef. So I think we're going to put in, I'm going to copy this and we're going to shorten it, right? We're going to shorten it for our lovely character sheet because this is a little too much in the character sheet. This is the class details. These are class focused. These are rolled talents. Rolled talents has got a lot more space. I think for here, I'm just going to put dungeon prep. And I'm also going to give us a couple of these arrows just so we have them. So we're going to put dungeon, I think it was dungeon cook, and meal prep are our 2 abilities. Dungeon cook and meal prep. And then down here, I'm going to define what we have. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to paste a dungeon cook. This is too much verbiage for what we're doing. So we're going to say cook a meal from your cookbook, party before rest, and when you break camp. So I'll say before rest and when you break camp. We'll just kind of shorten it. And then we'll do... We're going to do all the way down to encounter. And we're just going to say the encounter gives you... Yeah, I don't have 5d20 in there, buddy. We're going to say your counter gives you... Counts as a meal for eating. I'll say must have a dungeon monster. We don't need to know you start with a recipe roll for this. And we're not going to say you pick a recipe from the book. I'm just going to do this. I think that's enough for this ability. I'll say it's recipe based and must have food. Recipe based and must have food. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And must have food. Food to cook. All right. What's up, buddy? We're doing a little bit of a recording and getting together our lovely SOLODARK dungeon chef. The next thing I'm going to copy and bring over is our meal prep. This is super pivotal, this character. This is something that a lot of characters can't do. You have to carry rations. So you know how to prep food, field dress, and clean monsters. So I'm just going to say field dress. Whoops, wrong way. I'm going to say you can also turn dungeon monsters into rations. I'm going to say monsters to rations because he's a cook. Monster rations. Okay. Small monsters and up can always provide food for your party, but meals only last 1 day. So let's just say meals last 1 day. Making rations requires a DC 12 int check. This is important. So I'm just going to say DC 12 int check makes 4 rations. We're going to make this shorter. Makes 4 rations. And then we're going to say 1 game session on your drying rack. 1 game session to dry. All right, now we have our meal prep in here. We're good to go. Now we go back to here. And the only other thing they get is curing food. It does say curing food. Remove monster condition by cooking parts from it. This is their other ability. I added this in later because, so like, look, I always think about in games how you get conditions. Have those be from 5e or whatever game you play. There's no way to get rid of them unless you have a priest. And I thought the idea of you being able to, that food heals, the idea that they can make stuff that remove things like paralysis and stuff like that, as long as you capture that monster and get the pieces you need to cook food from it. I thought that was a really clean way to get rid of like poison, petrification, paralyzation, fear, stuff like that. I mean, grounding up a lich's bones to make bone meal to remove the fear effect from them, or if it's a shadow, killing a shadow and removing the condition from the strength drain, it gives them a ability, but it is difficult because a DC 14 int check in this game, all you're adding is the stat modifier when you're doing this. So for our character today, I feel like that kind of brings a good way to let your dungeon chef be more than a ration maker. You know what I mean? So, go back to here. I'm going to copy this cure food. We're going to bring it over. We're going to do the same damn thing again. We're going to shorten it up. I recommend when you make digital character sheets too, shorten them up. And then I would put a page here, a page number, but we don't have a page number for any of this stuff because this is custom. So I'm going to say remove monster condition. Right? Requires tools. Do I want to say that? Requires fire tools. 30 minutes. DC 14. Cure a condition caused by that monster. I like this. I think that's very clean. It looks good. Now, all of this is not our talents. These are just our bonuses. So I think we leave it like it is. I'm going to hit enter again. It doesn't reduce it too much. This is still very legible, right? So we'll copy it and we'll paste 2 of these because we're going to get some new abilities. Let's go back to the book, see what we need to do next. So we did our talent. We did our hit points. They were disappointing. They were not good. We did them. And then we need to do a background. The way I've been doing backgrounds for Breachers, because Breachers is the setting, is we roll twice. Or not roll twice. We roll once and we look on 2 tables. So, for example, we are going to look at our Breacher abilities that we have different kind of, I guess you'd say, different backgrounds that you can pick up. And then we'll look at the Shadowdark ones as well, and we'll pick the one that best suits our character. I guess you could randomly roll the whole thing. I just haven't looked at a good way to compile that table, and I don't want to reprint all the stuff that Kelsey already did in Arcane Library. That seems kind of ridiculous and redundant. So these are our backgrounds, and I want to bring us over so you can see them, and then I'll show you the ones on the web as well. The audience is going to roll this, so we need 1d20 from the audience, and then if we go over here to our backgrounds, I'll bring them up over here. We have our own backgrounds for Breachers as well. And I took these in their medieval style backgrounds. There's some really wild stuff in here. So we'll pick from one of the 2. Oh, got a D20 already. A 14. So for breachers, we would be a mechanic. Raised in Ironhaven, we understand mechanisms. I mean, we are a golem. All golems are tied to a caster of some form. They're made by master molders or molders. Kind of cool. Let's see what we get in the other one. A 14 here. A soldier. How are we a soldier with these stats? Is that even feasible? Can we be a soldier with these stats? Were we the prep chef for a soldier? Maybe we understand all the training and stuff, but we're not good at it? And we cooked for people? Or we could do mechanic and say that he wants to make like a portable, like kind of like our current day Bunsen burners for when you're camping. What does the audience think? What do you all like? Do you like the idea of him being a soldier or a mechanic with these stats that we currently have? What's the audience think? Well, the audience is looking at that. We're going to look at our next thing that we do, and we're going to talk about how backgrounds work. Backgrounds are knowledge. They're kind of a broad spectrum that you get. So no matter what we pick out of that, we understand how to get advantages using our background. So we work with the GM to determine if your background provides you an advantage in a given situation. There's no limit, because if we scroll up here, this is just background, and it doesn't discuss anything else other than that. And that advantage can be from anything, from if it's for being a soldier, tactical formations, how to force march, opening doors is important because of what we do. It could be anything. And then mechanic-wise, it could be the intelligence of how you do it. And our character currently is a very intelligent character, because we are switching our wisdom. Remember, everybody, this is going to be our intelligence, because we are hot swapping it. So this becomes 17, and this becomes 5, because we said we wanted to play a dungeon chef, so we're swapping intelligence and wisdom so that we have those in order. So we could be a good mechanic. Maybe we make blueprints, we craft stuff. Maybe we want to make other... What if we want to make other golem cooks? Like little golem creatures that can taste test for us, because we can't taste things. That could be kind of an interesting character. It's almost like he'd have sous chefs. I kind of like the mechanic idea. I think we're going to go with that, unless anyone's against it. I think the idea of a mechanic that wants to make other helpers, to make a whole line. Maybe he wants to open a restaurant. He's only a breacher for now to gather the money to open a restaurant. Like his deep plans. I like the mechanic. Yeah, new cooking tools is also a really good idea. I like that as well. He invented the spork in medieval times. Oh man, could you imagine if he developed the spork, everybody? I feel like that would be an outstanding way to introduce this character to a party. What'd your guy do? Oh yeah, man, he makes sporks. So let's go with mechanic. I like the idea. We're going to be level 3. We already know that. Which means we are currently at 0 hit points. We need 40 for our next level. We're going to go with mechanic, which is cool. And then what do we want to do after that? I guess we go back to seeing what we got to do. So we're going to head back, see what's available. We've done our background. We have our choice of alignment. I think he's neutral. I don't think he's really or is he a chaotic cook? Is he willing to cook anything because he's a golem and it doesn't affect him? Maybe it's not destruction and wickedness, but more the idea of like, I'll cook it. If you survive it, my food's good for you. Because he can't taste it. He doesn't know. I think we go with chaotic. And I usually don't play chaotic characters, but I feel like it makes sense for this character. Oh, oops, that's the wrong way. We'll put it over here. Our title, a chef. I think he is currently a chef at level 3. I don't think he has a deity. I think we're just going to put a line here for now. We have to come up with a name. Most golems are single names like Rook or Spear or Castle. They have like really basic names. If he is a chef, I don't want to call him Pan. We could, I mean, Pan's not bad. Let's put Pan down for now. Chaotic Golem Chef. What could possibly go wrong? Well, these stats are possibly going to go wrong here, Servians. That is what I am worried about. So we've done that. I think we're near completed. I think that's almost all of the character creation stuff. So let's back up. A title and starting gear. We are level 1. Level 1 characters get 2d6 times 5. Skillet. That's also possible. Can someone roll me 2d6, or 2 people roll a d6, and we'll put those together and we'll see what we get. 2d6 and we'll see what we get. I think that this should be pretty easy. I think we'll have enough money to buy gear. We're definitely, if we go down to gear, it breaks stuff down. But I think we're going to pick up the Crawler's kit for 7 gold no matter what. So that's a 5. And get one more from the audience, see what we get here. 5 and, what do we got here? 5. So 15. And it was what, times 3, I said? Or was it times 5? Times 5? That's not bad. That's some money for us. So we got 7 times 5. I'm good with that amount of money. I don't think that this is going to be a lot, but 35 gives us money. So we'll go to 35, and we know that we're going to buy the Crawler Kit. The Crawler Kit costs 7 gold. It uses 7 gear slots. It contains the following items: backpack, flint, torch, rations, iron spikes, grappling hook, rope, 60. This is a great setup to start. So let's go over to here and let's see how they handle us putting items in. Where is our gear slots? Other treasure table, focus, coins. Where is gear? Does anyone else see gear? Here, I guess. Okay. So gear in this game, as a heads up, if we go back up to here, we can carry our strength stat or 10. And let's be real. Pan here, obviously, is not going to be using his strength. Right? So we're going to be going, we have 10 slots available in total. That's not the best. Yep, consumable has its own, but they still count in total slots here. So what do we get out of this pack? We get a backpack. I want to give him a breacher item. I made some custom items for this game, and I think he deserves to have some of the breacher items. So we have a journeyman's bag. Let me scroll down into it here. And the journeyman's bag gives you an extra slot. And since this guy's so weak and he's carrying all the cooking gear, I think he's going to need a little bit more. So let's go to... Where's the breacher's gear? It's not this. It's not this. Let's go to here. Where's our journeyman's at? 10 gold instead of 7 gets us 2 gear slots. So we're going to take a journeyman's pack. That's what we're going to do. Because this here is kind of a big deal when we only get 10 to start. So we're going to do journeyman's bag. And that gets us a +2 to our slot. So we're going to get 12 in total. Down here, we're going to put 12. Can I change it? Does it not let me do 12? Let's see here. Hold on. 12 should be good. All right, I'm pausing the recording for a minute. Here, Jen. Jen's doing laundry, and I forgot my shorts for tomorrow already. So I pause the recording, we'll unpause and continue back. So we're going to do the Journeyman's as +2. I don't like that I can't alter my slots here. That's kind of weird to me. Because like if you have a magical item or something, I guess we'll just keep a note to it that we're allowed to have extras. That's 10 gold, so we're minus 10 off. The other thing we got to talk about is the cost of our cooking supplies. So we're obviously going to have a cooking pan, right? Like we got to have that. Cooking pan, and we have to have a chef's knife. So that's -4, and that's -2. So we're gonna have a cooking pan. That acts as a shield, by the way. We can use a cooking pan with 2 hands to block stuff. So let's go up to here and let's do shield. Where are we gonna have shield at? I see attacks. And this is part of this is learning this new piece here. Shield. So cooking. What did you say? Pan. The slots that it would take up, I believe, is 1. Cost, range, well, we're carrying it, so I guess it's 1 slot. And we got to decide armor. And our armor we can wear is a little bit of everything, I think. I think we're just going to be wearing leather to start. Let's put leather on. And then if we go back to here, let's take this off screen for a sec. We need to put our flint and steel. Okay. Let's move this over. Flint and steel. I think flint and steel is considered a tiny item, if I remember correctly, which means that the flint and steel... Oh, no, it still takes a gear slot. Oof, man. So this is 1. Journeyman's pack is 0. I'm going to put -2 and see if it does anything. Maybe it'll do the math at the -2. Cool. Now what? Yeah, he took... We'll talk about that after the show when we start to do our SOLODARK. She asked that, what about Flawless? The Golem will have a lot to talk about. They sure will. I don't want to ruin the episode, but let's just say this cook is not going to be happy. Not going to be happy at all. On top of that, we have a hand crossbow, and we have our cooking pan. I think we buy a hand crossbow for 7. So let's add hand crossbow in. Hand crossbows are super cool. We're not going to be good. We're so bad at this. Our character's not a good fighter and not a good support. Like, we can barely... survive? Chef knife. Can we have more than one item, more than one attack? Yeah, we can. We're gonna have hand crossbow. Not the best, everybody. The hand crossbow is a slot. Our chef's knives are a slot. On our damage across the board for these is... Oh, boy. Near and 1d4. 1d4. Near and 1d4 for this thing. So it is piercing. It is near. And then we have our damage of a d4. And I guess our damage is still at least a d4, right? And we have an L next to it. For our thing, just so you know, there are some new abilities. L is for... Let's look here. What does L do for weapons? It's a loading. You must forego moving to reload this weapon. So we're going to put loading here. It's part of their externship. Well, we got our knives. Our cooking knives are a D3. Ugh. Boy, that is painful. A D3. 1d3. Does it have range? No, but it is finesse. It is finesse and throwing. I don't know if we'll ever throw it, but at least we have the options. Okay. Type is slashing. Range. I think we did range for this. I'm looking it up right now. Our range is melee and... So close? Is it close? Range. Close and near. And near. All right. We're not good. We are not good at this. We have a -3 and a -4 to all range stuff. So this is a -3. Or sorry, this is a -4. And this is a -3. This is going to be a rough... I do not see this man surviving. I don't think this golem is going to make it. I will note that our pan as well, cooking pan / shield, can be used as a shield with 2 hands, which is nice. We can defend ourselves from all the incoming damage. And the fact that we're probably going to eat it so fast. So here's our saving grace. We're not dexterous. We're going to buy leather armor. Leather armor is 10. We don't have enough for chain. I think we're saving for chainmail. We need better armor. We need anything to survive. Right now, we are 11 plus dex modifier plus shield. Which means right now, we are 11 plus dex plus shields. Does this take any slots up? Gear slots it takes up is 1. We got 2. Our armor class is at -4. This is horrible. This is horrible. So right now, our armor class is going to be at a minus... What does it say? We're 1, so 11. We're going to get hit no matter what we do. We have to be really smart with this character. But hey, that's part of Shadowdark. So there's our armor class. Does it give us somewhere else to put our total armor? Is these slots? Does this... I'm curious. If I put 11, does this update? No? All right. So right now it's -4. That would be 11. We're at 7. Is this even possible to have an armor class of 7? That's so bad. All right. Well, it is what it is. We got a few more gold to spend, everybody. Let's talk about the 12 gold. What do we want to pick up? What do we want to pick up? We have torches of 2. So let's make sure we mark that we have 2 torches. I like that it has this little added thing here, right? Because you can add this into. Rations. It comes with rations. How many rations do we have? 3. Done. Oil flasks, 0. 0. Bolts. Bolts. We're going to talk about bolts. To buy crossbow bolts, they work exactly the same as buying them for regular crossbows. So let's scroll down here really quick and see what the cost is for bolts. Do we have a tracker? What's the ammo for a crossbow? Arrows? Does anyone see bolts here? Looks like arrows is everybody. Ammunition for short bows and long bows. Crossbow bolts. 20. 1 gold. So we got a -1. So we have 20 of them that we add to our character sheet. Bolts. 20. We're down to 11. It's not great, but we're down to 11. And then we got to put the last couple things from our crawling skit thing. A grappling hook. and 60 foot of rope. So let's do grappling hook. And that's 1. And then we have 60 foot of rope. 60 foot. And that's 1. And then we have iron spikes. Do I see spikes here? No. We have iron spikes. I think it's 10 of them, it said. So we're going to add our iron spikes of 10, and they're also 1. All right. Our cooking pot is also 1. Because I don't think we put it up here for our shield. Oh, I did. I did. So we can just take this off. Let's just get rid of this and delete this, and we'll put something else in this place. What do you think? Is there anything else with our 11 gold that we should buy? We don't even need another weapon. Is there any other basic gear? I kind of think torches. I kind of want to put... I want to spend another gold and buy 2 more torches. Right? Because that'll be 1 gold for 10 silver pieces. So let's then put another 2 torches, giving us 4. Because we got to survive down here. And then after that, I think we're a cook. I'd like a crowbar, I think. I think a crowbar. Let's put crowbar here. We're on our own. And that gives us 1. It's all of our gear. We have 9 gold left. That's our character for everything. We are hereby done with these levels. So now we're going to go over and roll our recipes. We're going to roll our breacher talents, which is something new. And we're going to be done with the character after that. So let's check out what we're going to get with our class. So we're going to roll our talents, everybody. We start with 1 recipe. So talents, we should talk about Shadowdark. Every class in Shadowdark rolls 2d6. There's some special ones, but overall 2d6. And you get a random talent from the class. And that class gives you abilities that you can use to kind of make your character better. So instead of like D&D where they're static, or in Pathfinder where you're picking feats, these are a little more randomized. Some GMs let you pick. Some will tell you to re-roll if you duplicate too many times. But for this case, we're going to be rolling for the Dungeon Chef's ability at 1st and 3rd level. And then we're going to roll for their crawler recipe as well. So let's go back over to the table and get this piece. So here's our table. Here's the list that we have. I need 2d6 in the audience, and then we also need a d12 for our first recipe that we have. And we're going to be doing the talents twice. So someone wants to roll 2d6 and another person rolls 2d6. That'll get us what we have. I'm going to go over the abilities in here and how they work, since this is about character creation. You'll notice this, you can remove poison using monster parts. You roll an additional recipe on a crawler book table. You can do a +2 to strength or dex or int, or a +1 int, or +1 melee. Or you can gain an additional use of a meal prep, because you only get so many a day. Or at 12, choose a talent or +2 to distribute on your points. So a 5 gets us roll an additional recipe. So we're gonna have 2 recipes to start. And he rolled a 4. We get no other class bonuses. We just have a lot of monster parts. We have a lot. We are a true chef. So that means we're going to get 3 rolls on our table. And we can't get any more recipes from this because we've already got it twice. So we're going to go back over to our character. If some people want to roll 3d12, we'll pull that back up once those are in chat. And we're going to go over setting this up. We have our class details, and we have our recipe book. I think I'm going to make the recipe book here. Right? And we're going to see what we get. We have 3 of them. I mean, 3d12 individually. Like, we're going to have a decent amount of them. Our meal prep right now is, I believe, once per day. And we're going to start going through these and adding them in. All of the creatures that you can cook, basically you can use to make any other recipes. So the first one we got is an 8. We will re-roll any duplicates. We have marinated grilled monster. You gain a +1 stat save of choice for the day. So if we want it to be a strength save, a dex save, an int save. We can make a food that makes people be able to be a little bit healthier. They'll shrug things off, right? So let's grab the marinated grilled monster. We'll go back over to our character sheet. And let's find a home for this stuff. I think I'm just gonna put it in spells. Because they're kind of like spells for us, right? We're not a caster, but they're similar. And then we're gonna do this a couple times. We're gonna add one more. We had another D12 of a 3. You know what? I'll roll the last one, I think. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna roll the last one for us. So a 3. Let's pull up what this gives us. A 3. 3 is Rejuvenating Stew. One person gains an extra use of a per day ability. Okay. That's actually really powerful. We could give it to ourselves to do more cooking. I think that makes the most sense. Ah, you're right. You're 100% right. Food can be, in fact, magical. It's a very astute notice. It is magical. We all have had that food. That's why chicken soup heals, right? So let's add this in here. We got our rejuvenating usability. And then our last one, I'm gonna roll for this one. I wanna roll D12. It's my favorite die. So let me grab us a D12 here. Let's see if we can read this one. I got us a 12. We got 12. So with a 12, I think 12 is pick. Oh no, extra use of meal prep or double the effect of one crawler recipe you have. Ooh. I really don't want an extra use of meal prep. I think instead of an extra use of meal prep, I would rather have a double effect. What about rejuvenating stew? What if we have like a double rejuvenating stew? So people can get their abilities back double or a bonus to a save. I think our marinated grilled monster. I think I would rather have that. While being able to feed people and get back 2 uses, I guess that would be a spell though. This is powerful. This is powerful. I'm going to say it does double because we have a special version. So, yeah, I think we're doing this. Double. That's awesome. So we're going to do first level. We got recipe. And then at third level, we got another recipe. It'd help if I could read what I'm writing in this. It's super hard to do. And then we're going to do our something that's not part of Shadowdark in general. So for those who are making a normal Shadowdark character, you'd be done here. Made a third level character, you'd be complete. But for Breachers, because you're in the walls running dungeons for so long, I wanted Breachers to feel slightly more special. Because of that, on even levels, you get Breacher talents. So for those who are playing Breachers, and I'll probably run some on Let's Play later on, we'll go over here and swap these. And then we're going to look at Breacher abilities. So now we get a Breacher talent. Breacher talents are 20. If I can get a D20 roll in the audience, this is going to determine what we get at second level for a Breacher talent. And for those who are reading through, if you're making home game stuff for your own campaigns, and you want to mix it up and make your setting feel like it's got its own jazz, its own thing, it feels like the game you're going to play, I recommend doing this, because if you go and you look at how leveling works in this game, you only get so many abilities. This is only a level up to 10. You only get this stuff at odd levels. And I want to be able to have more stuff than that. So if we scroll down here and you look at level advancement, you can see talent at first, third, and my Breacher levels are on the even levels. I recommend for your campaign, if you want to add some fun stuff, maybe at even levels, if you want everybody to get their own, awesome. Or if you want just maybe the party to get stuff. Maybe you don't want too much power. You still want it to be really gritty. You can just give something for the party on every even level. Maybe that's where their fortress and their stronghold stuff comes into play. Or maybe they have a magical companion that travels with them, and that's when they get their talents. So that you feel like every time you level up, you're getting something. Especially because fighters and thieves and other classes don't get things on those even levels, and this helps out. In Breachers, what do we get in chat here? Chat got us a... was it a 15? A 15. So a 15. 15 is going to get us Ramjacks. This is dangerous. Ramjacks, Lord of Destruction, takes notice of you, granting you advantage when breaking objects and structures. We worship the god of destruction as a cook. How are we gonna make this work? Hey man, the dice decided it is what it is. So let's go back to our character sheet here. I'm gonna go to our talents. I'm gonna bump this down one. Actually, no, I'll do Breacher talents here. And I'm going to put a B in front so we know these are all of our Breacher things. Ramjacks, Lord of Destruction, takes notice of you. So I'm just going to say advantage. Let's see here. Advantage on breaking objects. And I'm just going to put Ramjacks here. We'll put second level. Right? And then we'll say, I'm going to cut this again. Actually, no, I'm just going to delete this. I just want a list of stuff. And I feel like down here is probably a better place to put our extra abilities. So I'm just going to put Breacher talents. And then we'll put them down here. Right? We'll get rid of the 15. And then now we have this here so we have access to it. This is going to be wild. I don't even know how this character is going to work. But at the end of the day, our character's done. We'll save him out with this new character sheet. If you like this character sheet, down below, I will put a link to it so you can check it out. I'll also put a link to the SOLODARK rules we're going to go over in the next video. And then, of course, if you have questions on Breachers, join us during our live shows on Monday, and we'll talk all about how Breachers works. If you're watching this video after this live airing, on this side there's going to be a piece to click, and here you're going to have videos and a subscribe to watch. We're trying to hit 500. If you want to know more about my process of building characters, we'll be doing another video later on, but the more comments I get on it, I'll do it sooner than later. If you're going to be at Gen Con, I'd like to remind you I will be there as well. If you want to hook up, play a game, maybe play some Breachers, ping me on Discord and we'll get together and run a game. So we're going to stop recording this. Recording's done. We have our character done. Let's save him live show. And we're going to talk about how we want to play our game. Where do I want to save him? I guess I'll save him to here. Do I have my characters in here? No, we'll save him under Breachers. I'm going to save him under Breachers. Where are your breaches? What do you guys think of the character? Are you a little worried? I'm a little worried he's not going to make it. I'll be honest with you. I don't think this man, this golem, has got the ability to stay alive. Do you? Holy shit, man. This is going to be a hard one. It's going to be a really hard character to keep alive. Destroying people with new flavors. Holy shit. Is that going to be a new patch? Destroying people with new flavors? Is that what we're going to do for our patch? Let me move this up here. Okay. Let's prep for our Shadowdark stuff, for our SOLODARK really quick. We're not going to run a really long one. We're just going to set it up, see how the rules work, set up the situation. We're going to record it. But before I do that, I want to look over SOLODARK with you. We're going to make notes on things that are different in case we need to change our character at all. We're going to be starting this adventure with him getting waking up from where he was tossed and with what happened. Solo is very different play, everybody. So normally when you sit down at a table, you're going to the GM will do all the prep. When you're doing SOLODARK, you're doing it. And today it'll be us doing it. It's more like co-op dark? Duo dark? I don't know. Something like that. But we're going to go over the maps. I want to get our map out for this. The one we used last on Monday was this. We are not on this map. Okay? So we're going to delete these characters off because they don't need to be on here. And we're going to pull a new map. I'm using Dyson logo maps. For those who don't know who Dyson is, they make some amazing, amazing pieces. We're going to switch and we're going to pick our map we want to use. I'm really tempted to use the tower. I think this would be a great SOLODARK map. What do you guys think? Use the tower? And we're going to go from from bottom up to try to get out of the wall. But I like this piece. I think it's cool looking. And we'd start down here and we'd work our way up. Oh, you guys can't see it. I apologize. Oh, little encoder lag there. I see it. It's because it's saving the file. It'll be fine. It's just saving the file. That's all that's going on. Once it's done saving this, the lag will go away. Wait a second for it to stop. Make sure I don't have any... I'm going to do some settings here. Gameplay settings, and I'm going to turn off motion as well. Coding overloaded. Consider turning down video settings or use faster encoding preset. There's no faster encoding preset. We are using the fastest one. Let's go back to here while it's encoding. This one seems to run a little smoother. I'm here now. Have no fear. What's up, bro? We're getting ready to do our SOLODARK. We made our character. We're having some encoding issues. Nothing is overloaded, though. I don't know what's causing it. I think it's the hard drive. I really, really do. Maybe. Let's see. Caused by hard drive? I was getting a couple of hung frames while recording. Especially, and you guys get a little bit of this, especially, well, just decoding. Yeah, right. Trying to hit HDD, have very bad response times. Something was actually happening. If OBS can't write the frames fast enough, the recording device. I have a new hard drive I'll put in here. It's sitting here. I got this big old 2 terabyte to throw in from Samsung. Is it coding still happening? Is it good now? It's still happening, isn't it? I was waiting for us to finish before we continue. I've had no problems. Our Monday show ran smooth. But for some reason, this is causing some issues. There we go. It's done. It is the hard drive. It's cleaned up now. It says it can confirm encoder overloading using HDD2, OBS 24. Every time I try the option, we get like a 3% encoder overload failure. All right. Well, I know it's a hard drive. Can't turn it on and off. I did that earlier today. First thought I was on frame. It was from the HDD. I used last year, so recording HDD. No such problems. I'm gonna have to read this file later. And I'm not using USB. It is hard lined in the computer. It's an actual one. I'll have to read this later, but not now, because we have SOLODARK to do. Just had to let it catch back up. So here's our map for SOLODARK. What do you guys think of this? I think we're gonna be going here, climbing our way up with our cook to get out. I think somewhere one of these holes is gonna be an exit out. So let's look at this, everyone. So I have our little face cam thing here. We know we want to prep some stuff, so I'm gonna write down ideas for the show here. Let me set this back down. So I have two sides. You can't see this other one, but I'll move it over so you can. This is just where I'm gonna have combat logs, so we don't have to look at that. It's just gonna be using this one. So I'm gonna put down here, I'm gonna put notes, and I'm gonna put start while listening to the Breachers. I like that. We're gonna have another one here, and this one's gonna say climbing tower to escape. We're also going to put by our self lost our party. There's two other breachers that we're with. They got jumped. We jumped down the cliff. We lost one of our recipe books. And for those who watch the Monday show, there's a chance that maybe our other chef took a hold of it. Right? So this is our notes for this. And then we are going to quickly look at our Shadowdark for solo. And I want to see what rules are different before we start the recording. Okay? So let's look at this. We know we have an Oracle. We know we're doing group initiative, but it's only us. Chaos mode, we roll initiative at the start of each combat. We'll do that maybe in one of them, but I don't think the start. Light sources last 10 rounds. So this is a good note to ourselves. I'm going to put a SOLODARK note here. And we're just going to kind of divide this up. I'm going to sketch this out a little bit. I do 2-page spreads for all my notes, for those who are not familiar with how I take notes. I believe that if you can see the 2-page spread, you're better off as a GM for running, and I think for solo play, it works really well. So we know we have that. So let's put our notes here. I think these are important to have. So do a little bullet points. We know, and I'm going to do page numbers, okay? In case we ever need to pull them up. So we're going to do page 1. And this is going to be group initiative. And I'll show you the piece I'm working on here. So we have, I'm not worried about that. Light is 10 rounds, okay? We also have page 1, and we're going to put luck. So I'm going to put nat 20. Gain. In our game, it'll be a breacher point. All right. So we have those notes here, so we know that that's what we're looking at. You can have as many luck tokens as you have PCs in your group. We only have one. Our breacher thing is we roll a d4 at the beginning of the session because we're doing different things for ours. Fortune's favor. This is a big one. We probably should put page 2. Start +1 breacher token. I'm just going to put BT. Right? I think that's important to have. And then jump in. You can head to the pre-written dungeon and use the Oracle to help decide where your character's choices, or even create an entirely new adventure. Get ideas from page 7. We'll go over that on the show, but I do want to look at it. This is what we're going to start with. I'm really excited for all the random tables. As a matter of fact, let's go to Shadowdark here. I'm going to pull this up. Let's go Shadowdark. We're going to be doing a lot of random tables when we do our recording. I'm going to scroll us past all of this stuff. All of it. All of it, all of it, all of it, all of it. And we're going to be doing... Boy, probably here? Here? NPC names? I'm going to make some SOLODARK notes over here for us. I'm just going to put tables. So we're going to do a table note section. Sorry if this is shaking for you. Temporary. This is also going to be important. And I think our tables are going to be... What is it? Names on... I think we're just going to have the sidebar open the whole time, to be honest with you, everybody. 128. So 128 is names. I think that's going to be important. And then settlements. We might do settlements, maybe shops. We're going to start with the adventure. Was it this one? Where did she say the adventure started? Hold on. Oh, here. So we're going to start with this here. We're going to start with this here. This is going to be where we start for what this tower is called. We have our character. We know what we're doing. The only other thing I want to add is some blank tokens to this map so that when we record, we have tokens ready. So let's get rid of this, and I'm going to show you how this is done on Alchemy. So we're on this map. NPCs appear here. I already have fungal people. I think there's a good chance we're going to see some of these fungus people because they're dominant here. And I'm just going to layer a couple of them on the side in case we need them. I like to line stuff up. And then we should probably add another token. I'm just going to add a few base ones, and then we'll modify these as we go through. We won't fully stat them out. We'll do our stats over here. And then we'll look up art during the show, and I'm literally going to treat this like if you were doing SOLODARK at home, the process you would go through. We don't have the Anglios here because it got away. They killed it, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm going to take this out of the pool. Right? Okay. And that's it. That's all we need, except we need art for our golem. We need art for Pan. Does anyone want to go look for black and white art for a dungeon golem, a chef golem? Because that's what we need. That's what we need. Oh, wait, I did this wrong. Ooh, I fucked that up. Fucked that up. We need to add a... Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't mess that up. That's right. I did it right. I did it right. Hold on. Let's bring it up here. Let's... Can I assign a character to me? That would be awesome. Oh, I can't. I'm going to have to make a separate account at some point in time to have it logged in so we can use their character sheets instead of doing NPCs. But for now, we're just going to add art so we can use them. And we'll put his name and his stats will go in here. All right? So we'll do Pan. We'll do Dungeon Chef Golem. That's a good piece. That's a good piece. I have Discord closed. Well, let me boot it back up. We know his stats. They're garbage. They're very garbage. Let me pull them up. We got -3, -4. -3, -4. So -3, 1, 2, 3. -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0. +3. -3. We're a talker here, guys. We are a talker. -3. +2. And then we got some art coming in Discord. Let me pop this up. Did you put it? Where'd you put it at? Did you put it in general? In TTRPGs? Live show? Is it in live show chat? Put them in live show chat for me, would you? So I can pull them up over here. Just copy those ones you sent and put them in live show. If anybody else watching right now isn't in our Discord, you can join in here. Make sure you click all the read comments and whatnot. You can pull up things there. But if you can put them in the live show chat in Discord, that'd be awesome. Just so other people can see them as well. I like both of these. Here's one. I like the second one more than the first one. So this is the first one that they sent. Let me pull up web and we will take a look at them. This is the first one they sent. It's okay. This, way cooler. Way cooler. That is he a baker? Roast chicken? He could put a spit through him and just spin the spit and cook him inside himself? He's gonna have to have the ability to create fire at some point or something. That's really good. All right, so I'm gonna look up some golem chefs here. I see the first one you found. Maybe a golem cook? What's this one? Ooh, that's weird looking. Maybe is cook a better word maybe? Golem cook? Let's try robot chef. Robot chef art. That's kind of cool looking. A little too sci-fi. I'm leaning towards the first one, I'm gonna be honest. These are, let me see, robot chef, character, art. That's creepy. That one's kind of cool. Ooh. Oh, that's a person. That's a great art piece, though. That's a person. Let's try robot chef concept art. Sometimes you get lucky here. No. That's a great picture. Oh my god. If he wasn't holding the phone, it'd be great. What if he's creepy like this? What if he's this little shit? What do you think? Do you like that? That's a possible keeper. Anyone else find any? In chat? Has anyone else had luck finding robot chefs? Or golem chefs? Let's try cook. Oops, I should put a gap in there. Seen a lot of the same images. So chef and cook obviously pull up the same stuff. That's hilarious. Yeah, put it in it's in our live chat section. Here, I'll ping you. In here. I'm not really seeing a lot of... Apparently, there is a loss of character concept art for a robot cook. I don't see it. Where'd you put it at, bud? Oh, okay, there it is. I'm sorry. Oh! Oh my god, he looks like Iron Giant. He looks like an Iron Giant baker. I need a little more medieval looking. We want more of a medieval fantasy look. Let's try, let's try Conn. No, that didn't work either. Let's try Golem one more time with this. Ooh. That's cool looking. Super baller chef. I mean, it doesn't fit, but it's funny. I think I'm gonna go with Iron Body one. Everything else I've found is kind of meh. Eh. Too bad there wasn't a Chef Boyardee robot image. Because that would be killer. If there was a Chef Boyardee robot image, I would be all in. All in. Yeah, I don't see. That's awesome looking, but that's not what we're looking for. Let's quickly click. I want to click the one that keeps pulling up. It's like it's Destiny. And let's see if there's any in here, because sometimes they have like related ones in this section. That's cool looking. But I think we go with this. So I'm gonna save image as. I'm gonna go with Breachers. We're gonna go with NPC art, and now we get to do something fun. So a lot of you guys haven't seen this before. We gotta go to Canva, and so with yeah, sign me in. With our stuff, I have to go through and I have to make monster pieces. Is this the one? Nope. So basically they have to be square. Is it this one? Yeah. They have to be square. So you can see I came through here and built these, right? So we're just going to duplicate one. I'm going to go down here. We're going to delete him out. I'm going to grab our chef and bring him in. The robot Swedish chef. That would be awesome too. He's got a high charisma. Do you think the Swedish chef has a high charisma? If you think the Swedish chef has a high charisma, then maybe he is Swedish chef. Is that how we're going to talk the whole time? Do we just make a button for every time the Swedish chef talks? And we play it that way instead of me role-playing against myself the entire time? What if there's a soundboard? There might be a soundboard for the Swedish chef. I have an idea. All right, let's look at NPCs. So we're going to grab this, drag it in, right? We're going to do edit image. Just so you all know, I don't think you guys have ever seen me do this before. Background remove. And we're just going to blow them up. Right? Now, it did get rid of some of the flames. So we're going to go back into here. We're going to edit this image. We're going to adjust. And I want to be able to see the original. And I want some of the fire still there, right? Because the fire looks cool. So we're going to kind of do this. I'm going to bring it through here. We're going to paint some of this in. Paint some of this in. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be so small that it won't matter. We're going to zoom in this piece. So we need to go way in here. We're going to do this and this. And this isn't going to, like I said, it's going to be perfect because I'm not using a pen tool. Like I'm not hand drawing this back in, which is what I would traditionally do. Oh, you know what? I just thought of something. We're going to do this. I want to test. We'll cut it. But I'm going to test something. We're going to delete it. We're going to re-add it. And then we're going to edit it again. We're going to do magic grab. Sometimes magic grab grabs. Yeah. So now we can see how it has click as an option. So we're going to click him. And we're going to click this red. And we're going to see if it's going to pull in all the red. It does. Well, this is way easier. Let's get ooh, but it did that. It did that. Let's just grab him. We're gonna clear it. We're gonna grab. Ah, we messed it up. We messed it up. We're gonna grab him. I guess we have to do it this way. And we're going to try to brush it in again. Really small this time. I didn't like how much brown, the brown background it was pulling in. So we're just going to kind of do this again. This is what I do for all of the shows, everybody. Like, if you think the shows just magically come with all of the fucking art, they don't. They do not come with all the art. You got to have this tasty fire. We might have to give him like a cool fire ability eventually. I think for now, I think his fire is doused and it doesn't work. And I think eventually we will get him the ability to, when he's standing still, create fire so he can cook using himself. Maybe that's part of the machinery. He's trying to like repair himself. I think that could be kind of fun. This is so much easier to do with a fucking tool. With a pencil. But can't let him not have this. This art looks like it's an Elden Ring piece, doesn't it? It looks like an Elden Ring piece of art. For those who play Elden Ring. All right. And I think this first episode is going to be us setting up our adventure. Just so we can say how to set it up. And then on Friday, I will record, we'll do actual play. I think that's kind of our game plan. Because I want to go cook dinner here in a little bit. All right, did we miss anything? That's pretty good. I like it. Grab. Now here's what this does. We missed a little fire there, but I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. And we'll see what happens. It's going to take a second for it to process it. Because we hand drew. Notice when you hand draw it in, it does take more time. Now what it does is it separates him from the background. And you just delete this. And now you have a nice clean version of him. And then we're going to add a drop shadow to him. So we go here, quick drop shadow. I don't do a lift. I usually do an actual drop. Light comes from the bottom on all of the overlay scenes in this. So I usually do full intensity. And then I change the angle. So it's this way on this one. And I blur it just a touch more. And then we resize him. And you want to keep him dead center. And then we'll put pan here. Token. Right? And now we're going to download him. We just want PNG. We want our current page we are working on. This will compile it and download it pretty quick. While that's downloading, I'm going to turn off the web here. We'll go back over to Alchemy. See where we put it at. We want to move this into Breacher's Show. And then we're going to move him up to NPCs. And now we can close this because we don't need it anymore. So we're not taking up extra space. Close all these out. And we're going to go to here, and we're going to add them. And we'll go back to our Breacher show and our NPCs, and then we got our Breacher token, and now it'll be super clean. So we're set to record now. This loads in, you can see him, and he's saved. And now when we open him up and we view him, he'll look like this. The other thing I think we should do for him is we should go to our trackers. We should put in our hit points here, just so in case we decide we want to track him here, we can. He's going to have 10 hit points. What is this? 10 of 10. And then his AC, we are at, what was it? We were an 11 minus 4, so we have a 7. I think I want this to be Breacher tokens instead. We start with 1. We can carry up to 4. We have 1 to start. I think I would rather do that. This is a fun part of storytelling, yeah. So we have everything we need. And so let's do our setup session. This is going to be like our session 0 prep. I'm going to hit the record button again. Granted, we may have a little encoding error here right away. I'll talk through it. Once the encoding error is done, we will start showcasing this. And I'm going to pull up SOLODARK for now to start this. And I'm going to start in this mode for it, and we're going to record. Here's the hoping the encoding gods are with us. I'm going to give it a minute. You're going to see there's an encoding overloaded. I'm going to reclose our Discord down while it is doing this. I'm going to give it a minute to upload. You should be good. Yeah, it is the hard drive. It is the hard drive. I'm excited to put the new hard drive in because that hard drive is only going to be used for videos. There's plenty of room on this hard drive. But it's just being a pain. Come on, encoding gods. Come on, encoding gods. Let's go to solo. See if it makes a difference. Do. It's me. It's me. We're just waiting for the encoding to settle. I'm kind of wondering if it's the new OBS. But yes, it is lagging. Yeah? We good? We're waiting here? Encoding good? Are we good now? I want to make sure I'm good before I give the speech. It's not tech gremlins. We know what it is. Tech gremlins is when we don't know. This is the hard drive. It's because I started recording. We're just going to let it catch up. And we should be good. There's nothing really running right now. It is just the hard drive. That's what I was reading earlier over here. It's OBS to your hard drive through your graphics card. You get overloaded when the hard drive is too full or is a write cache that is too slow. But I'm not using external. I'm using a regular hard drive. So we're hoping that we fix it. Come on. Just waiting for the encoding to go away. It looks good on my end now. Does it look good on your guys' end? Are we golden grams? Yeah? Yeah. No blur? Seems correct. We seem good. I think I dropped a frame there. Yeah, we're losing frames due to the encoding error. This is annoying. There's no reason for this. No reason at all. How does it look on your guys' end? Serving, Rogue, do you see any lag anymore, or is it now clean for you all? Because yeah, it's lagging in a different way than last and pointed out earlier. When I joined in earlier, it looked like it was on all sides. This time, it's actually lagging the stream, like it's buffering. No, that's still the encoding. Oh, this is so annoying. I don't ever have this problem. How do I want to shoot this? I wanted to do a live broadcast and record, but this new version of OBS seems to be causing the problem. Seems to be causing the problem. What if I move this? Turn off the timer. Yeah. Yeah. It shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. Because there's 300 gigs of space on this hard drive. And it's plenty fast enough. This is infuriating. This is very infuriating. I might have to not record this today. I might have to postpone. Boom. All right. Let's see how this goes. I changed it to a different format. I can't pause anymore, but I think it'll be fine. Should have a small amount of encoding lag here, and it should go away. And then we should be fine. Give it a sec. Nope. It keeps flashing it up and down. Nah. It's saying the encoder is overloaded. I can't record this. This is sad. I'm very sad. I'm very, very sad. Yeah, but the encoder keeps crashing. I don't know what's going on. Something's not compatible on my end right now. There's something going wrong. We might have to do our SOLODARK another day. I can see lag on my screen too. What a shame. It like flashes up every 2 minutes. It's just not working. Yeah, I know. I start doing anything because there has been a bunch of lag and whatnot. I'm just gonna end it here today. I think instead of forcing it through and trying to have a problem putting out a poor quality stream and putting out a poor quality of our SOLODARK, I kind of think I think I should just stop it here. And then I'll take tonight, I will go over it, and then we'll have it back for Friday. Yeah, thank you so much for sticking around for this. So here's the deal. This one won't be our SOLODARK. It was character creation speed. Yay, we're back to normal speed. Before I close this out, I do want to try something here. I am going to try recording just in case it works. Just in case. I changed one more thing. I changed the buffering. We'll see if the encoder works. If it doesn't, I'm going to take tonight, Thursday, and then bring us back on Friday and hopefully have us up and running. So everybody, In case you're watching this live, you know the deal. All around me, there are things to click. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. We have a bunch of videos to watch that won't be like this live stream has been. But hey, shit happens. It's part of the game. I'm going to hit start recording here, and if it still goes, we'll do this speech one more time. All right. It's running. But I'm seeing it jump all over the place. And I feel like it is being choppy right now. Sure is. Sure is being choppy. There's something going on